Anyone who's reached the level that you have and a high level of success, everyone's gone through some shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone. You just talked about your childhood a little bit, but I want to ask about your NFL career.
Mm-hmm.
What was the moment in your NFL career where you remember facing the biggest amount of adversity, where things just weren't going your way, you couldn't figure it out, and then ultimately, how'd you get through it?
Yeah. So the first part of your question, I remember very, very vivid. A time where I was with the Cleveland Browns. At this point, I was probably the Cleveland Browns were my fourth team. My rookie year, they fired Penn.
Got it.
Yeah,
They've
Mike
had so many
Penn.
coaches, bro. Not Freddie
Browns.
Kitchens.
Right. So they fired Penn, and Hugh Jackson got hired.
Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson got hired. Whole new roster. RG3 was on the roster.
That's right,
they had, Corey Coleman. He had just got drafted by Hugh Jackson, first round pick. Isaiah Crowell, Duke Johnson. Those were the running backs in the room. So, I was going through, preseason, did all right, got injured, had I think a grade 1 strain in my hamstring, and so sat out like one of the preseason games, and coming into the final rosters, made the 53-man roster. That night I went to go celebrate with my wife, my in-laws. We went to Hyde Park in Crocker, I'll never forget. Had a nice steak. Enjoyed, they had this fried lobster, which is unbelievable. You gotta try it. It's really good. So the next day, my wife has a bridal shower. I had proposed to her when we were in Baltimore, and so I'm sitting at home. She's at the bridal shower with her parents. Her dad's helping run the whole thing. All the ladies are there, her friends, everybody. Right? It's a great moment. And I'm on the couch, and it's our day off. They just announced a 53-man roster, so the next day you kind of get a day off. Man, I get a phone call, and it's one of the scouts. He's like, "Hey, I need you need to come in with your iPad." And I'm like,
"Oh no,
man, I done heard this, to previous teams." I'm like, "Wait, you serious? I was just on the 53-man roster. Like, you told me I made it." And they were like, "Yeah, wait, just come on in." Go in. They gave me this whole spiel how, they needed roster space for, other positions and everything. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I had to go back home. We go back to our apartment that we were staying in. And I had to call my father-in-law up. So I call him up, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Heem? How you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't know how to tell you this. Like, I just got released." He's like, "Wait, what? Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "All right, well, I'm not gonna say anything to the ladies right now. Like, it's gonna ruin that moment for them.
Ruin it.
It's gonna ruin my wife's bridal shower.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say anything to them. And then we'll come home and we'll talk about it and see what we're gonna do next." So, my wife comes home. She already got the news because one of her friends, who was also one of my teammates' wives,
she found out.
texted her in a group message with another girlfriend and was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry about Raheem." And my wife looked at the text and was like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" And she was like, "Yeah, he just got released." And that's how she found out.
Yeah.
So when she comes home, I'm like, "Hey, baby," and she's like, "I know, I already know." And we sat on the couch. It was like a couch like this. Sat on the couch, and me and her had the one-on-one conversation. And, I got cut from all these other teams, and I asked her, I said, I looked her right in the eyes, I said, "So what do you think we should do now?" And she looked at me, and she was like, "How much do you love this game?" That was the first thing she said. It wasn't like, "Well, we could do this, we could do that." She was like, "How much do you love this game?" She was like, "I've been playing this game since I was 7. And I was like, "What do you think?" And she was like, "You got to keep going." And that was like the moment where I was like, okay, if she could, ride and put her dreams aside and, she just got done with her bridal shower, then I should be good. We going to be all right.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, what came right after that then? Was it just a journey of trying to figure it out?
Yeah, no, I got picked up by the Jets. Yeah. I was with them for a week, literally on practice squad.
Yeah.
And then they cut me. the next day after the game, and was at home for about a week and a half, and then Chicago called me. I was with Chicago. I was on the roster, off the roster, on practice squad. They released me. Got 2 games in, because like during the NFL, if you get 3 games, that's a credited season.
That matters now.
I was at 2, and so they cut me, and I had broke my pinky on a jugs machine. In practice.
Those things are dangerous.
No, they are. They are. They cut me, broke my pinky. I got cleared, and then that's when Chip Kelly called me.
Got it.
He was in Orlando. They just got done playing the Dolphins, and they were going back to play Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And so got picked up by them, met them in Orlando, and the rest is history. I was with the Niners for 6 years.